market started out strong with a huge gain for stocks, but as the day wore on, the reality of the tariff situation seemed to sink back in again. At the opening bell, stocks rose sharply after a savage three-day sell-off that saw some investors this morning bet the worst might be over.
Front and center this hour, the rebound in stocks. S&P looking for its first positive day in 4.
And with America's Treasury Secretary saying nearly 70 countries have approached the U.S. to talk tariffs and make deals, the market seemed to respond positively. The Dow initially up 1,300 points.
The news that they're talking with South Korea, the news that they're talking with Japan, the news that they're talking with Taiwan is helping to calm the jittery nerves.
But it didn't last. By early afternoon, North American markets once again started to slide.
Put today's bounce into the entry of classic bear market bounce.
With investors stuck trying to guess what'll happen next on the eve of a potentially huge escalation in the U.S. trade war with China and tougher tariff penalties set to be imposed on dozens of countries.
I think the realities are setting in. This tariff war is not something that's going to resolve itself anytime soon.
Meanwhile, tensions are mounting between Trump's top trade advisor, who's been pushing for tariffs, Peter Navarro, and Elon Musk. On X, Musk calling Navarro a moron and dumber than a sack of bricks. A growing number of influential voices on Wall Street have been warning about a potential recession if the trade war escalates. And as for the early upswing in stocks,
we have these relief rallies along the way, but it's part of a broader trend where the market's going to continue to drop until it can find its footing. And the footing is really around the clarity that we need to have about these tariffs.
in the end, the main stock index here in Toronto lost about 1.5% of its value. It was the same for the S&P 500. It was down about 300 points. The NASDAQ, it was down about 2%, so another disappointing day for investors.